Wee, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you live, people, with another episode of what is this? We call it the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast with your boy, Life Coach Jeff Relaford. Hey, man, look here. I just want to start off by saying this. Um, you know, we have times in our lives when we have to adapt. And you know what? I'm grateful for adaptability, baby. I'm telling you, man, I wouldn't be able to do majority of the stuff that I do now if it wasn't for me adapting. Okay. If it wasn't me adapting to life out here. Hold on, y'all, real quick. It's hot. Okay. It's hot. Look, y'all, we got a heater in here, other little stuff of that nature. I got to let that joker go. I got to let it go. It's too hot. So, all right, we back in the game, everybody. We back in the game. We wipe the sweat off my brow real quick, the sweat off my brow. But yeah, man, what I want to do is I want to take the time for this particular episode just to really say that, once again, adaptability is so key to everything that you do. You know, that's not the subject matter I want to talk about, but I'm gonna just be open. I'm gonna open up with this because I think a lot of times what happens is, as people, we just don't know how to take care of business when it needs to get done. A lot of times what we do is we think of excuses, we think of different things that get in the way. But yeah, hey man, I'm letting y'all know what I'm grateful for with myself. I'm grateful for adaptability. That's one of the many traits that I know that I have, and I am definitely grateful for it. So that's just me reflecting. But you know what? What I really want to talk about is a great subject for the day, people. It's a great subject for the day. What I really want to talk about is friendships and taking the advice of your friends. Now, people, there's been a lot of stuff going on, especially in the media lately, right? Uh, we know of a certain someone that shall remain nameless, but with this certain someone, you often tend to wonder, if the feds coming in, raiding your house, doing all this stuff, um, did you make the right choices? Who were you around? Were you taking the advice of your friends or family or other things of that nature? Excuse me, everybody, because we have to remember all advice is not good advice. We have to remember that. All advice is not good advice. And, celebrities go through a lot of different things, and when celebrities tend to go through a lot of different things, you have to really pay attention to what it is that they do and how they do it. Um, Oftentimes, we grow up having childhood heroes, right? I don't believe I had a childhood hero. No, I take that back. I had a person who I really looked up to and believed in. And a lot of y'all might think this is insane, but it's a guy by the name of Michael Eric Dyson. Uh, my childhood hero, it wasn't anybody like a basketball player, anything like that. Michael Eric Dyson, I first saw him on CNN as an analyst when I was a young child. And I said to myself, I was like, wow, that to me, it was the perfect representation of what I saw an articulate black man being at the time. And I went ahead, I watched a clip of him last month, and I said, wow, that's who I want to aspire to be that upstanding man, that citizen, that brother. Yeah, and I have to share that because my role models, it wasn't me like wanting to be like Mike. You know what I mean? It wasn't me wanting to look at an athlete or another superstar. What I wanted to do was I wanted to emulate a brother who I saw that dressed well, dressed well, uh, and really had a way with words. But he had a way with words at a point to where, he was very confident in what he was saying. That's who I wanted to emulate. I didn't want to emulate a superstar in that right. Now, he may be a superstar in his own right. You know what I mean? A lot of people know who Michael Eric Dyson is. Take a look at him, man. Look him up for real. He's a guy who was he's been an activist in certain parts. He speaks up for a lot of different social injustices, different things that go on in community, black community, looking at different things that go on in the US. But the brother's just very educated. He's very educated and talented. And I say that because I would like to believe that Michael Eric Dyson, my idol, the person that I look up to, has had has taken the advice from great people to be where he is at, and they assisted him in making the right decisions for the success of his career, you know. So that's why I really want to take into account with this. And I know we deal with a lot of different artists, we deal with a lot of different people. I've met so many great people, and I want to ask everybody the question: who are you taking your advice from? Is it sound advice? Do you have great friends, great family who actually have your best at heart in order to see you succeed? Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. There are a lot of people that say things, say they want to see you succeed, but they really don't. They want to see you fail. And what I mean by they want to see you fail is I'm not talking about in the worst way possible, because what we tend to do is we tend to take those subjects and we think about the worst way. So sometimes people just might want to see a certain show fail, or a certain situation fail, or a certain situation have an outcome that might not look favorable to you. That's what I mean by fail. We always don't have to go to the extreme lengths. I don't like to take things to the extreme, because what I like to do is I like to relate things to real life, right? We have to relate it to real life. So how I'm relating this to real life is sometimes life be life. And sometimes people do have intentions to want to throw you off your game. So are you taking the right advice from your friends? Mm, come on, man. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to be around people who have the same dream and vision to you as you. Big ups to the Vibe. Let me shout out, because I'm here recording live from the Vibe Studios. You know what I mean? We out here doing our thing, man. It's a great thing to be out here. Who is Smooch Wallace, Mary Selena K, Ron Reed of the VNO podcast, and myself. We all join together and we make up the Vibe, baby. So it's a great thing. And if you would like your podcast or your radio show or anything like that recorded, we have a studio where we're able to change up the scenes, the settings, and everything like that. So we can give you what you need. So please, you can inbox us, any of us. We do have a Vibe Studio Instagram. We also have a Vibe Studio Facebook page, which a lot of people are joining and following. Thank you, everybody, for following that page and looking into that. We appreciate y'all. We're going to have more content uploading and everything pretty soon, very soon on that. So we thank y'all for that. But yes, if you need anything recorded or anything you would like for us to take a look at and see if we can tackle the task, go ahead, hit us up, man. Either of us, hit any of us up, and we will take care of your needs. But I say that because that is an example of you running with people who have the same vision. And I don't mind taking advice from them because they have my best interest at heart. Now, let me put this in a perspective for y'all. You always don't have to take the advice given to you. Okay? Always remember that. You don't have to take the advice given to you, but you have to keep an open mind. You have to keep an open mind. If you don't keep an open mind and you stay closed off, how will you learn? But once again, the question is, who are you taking your advice from? You know, if you have somebody in your life, if you have friends or family in your life, and you say, "Hey, man, I'm really struggling," and they hit you with that, "Well, man, it's just how life gonna be." And then you ask, "What should I do?" Man, hey, man, you do whatever makes you feel happy. Okay, if I'm at a low point in my life, and I've used this as an example, if you're at a low point in your life, you don't want nobody telling you, well, if that's how you feel. Nah, man. You want people around you that'll build you up. Now, it's not their responsibility to build you up. It's not. They don't have to. But if they had to choose, they will want to make a conscious decision to just be the one that can kind of be there for you in a sense. Once again, people are not obligated to do anything for you. And I say this all the time. Y'all will hear me say this on the podcast, the radio show, even in general conversation. Y'all will hear me say that. But it's the stone cold truth. It really is a stone cold truth. Like, it's a choice for me to want to get up here and record every week for y'all and give y'all great content and give y'all great words. But I also had great advice from a mentor. Shout out to my mentor. That consistency is the key. I have had times when I want to give up. I've had times when I want to stop. I've had times when I didn't even see the point in what I was doing. But I listened to the right people. I had good friends. I had good people around me who were saying, Jeff, your content means something. Go ahead, throw it down, big dog. It really means something. So I kept going. And look, this is where we at now. Everything always pays off. You have to, man, consistency has a great payoff, people. And I want to let y'all know that if you are going through something in your life and you think it's the end of it, it's not the end. You don't have to end anything in your life. You have to keep going in order to complete your goals, in order to reach new heights that you didn't think anybody would ever reach. That's what you have to do out here. So that's what it takes, everybody. If you are willing to go ahead and have a little bit of sacrifice and listen, to have good people around you, because I'm going to circle back to the people I was talking about in the media, you know, certain things happen in your life that are evident that kind of show you in a sense that maybe, just maybe, maybe you might not be taking the right advice, or you might be going down the wrong path, you know. So back to circle around about that media point, though. Like I said, there's a certain person who's in the media right now. You know, feds raiding the house, allegations have been made, things have been said. It's even affecting some of the people that he is affiliated with also. It's wild, man, how you can make one decision from a friend, and that one decision from a friend can have a possibility to flip your whole world around. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened in this man's particular situation. Well, now y'all know it's a man, so I'll be quiet about that. But anyway, you could take one person's idea or ideology, just their particular beliefs and different things that they choose to focus on. And guess what? It can throw off your focus to a point to where you can lose importance of things. Right? You can lose your core values. You'll end up compromising your own belief system because you chose to follow someone and go down the wrong path. Come on, y'all. We have to have some type of resolve, and we have to be able to, you know, solve some issues, solve some problems, and make some things happen for ourselves, you know? And part of that decision making is having the right people around you. So, Life Coach Jeff, how do you go about selecting the right people around you? I'm glad you asked. So I will tell you how you actually go about selecting the right people around you. Okay? Because everybody isn't meant to be a friend. And like I said, all advice ain't good advice, right? All advice isn't good advice. So what you want to do is you want to see how they carry themselves outside of your circle, outside of just in everyday life, outside of you. That's the main big thing. You need to see how people carry themselves outside of you. You know, if you sit down, you talk about life and logic and everything, and it seems to be that everything is up to par, I would say you use your better judgment. This might be a good person to take some advice from, right? But let's say if you see somebody out here like running with the wrong people, right? Going out here making very bad decisions. Like, for instance, why would I take advice from somebody who snorts crack? Why? Because 9 times out of 10, they probably have an addiction, and the advice that they're going to give me is coming through that addiction. So why would I take advice from somebody who is choosing to demoralize the body? You know, I don't do that to my body. So why should I allow somebody who's willing to take their own body and their mind to that level, right? Because that's not what I do. That shouldn't be what you do as a person either. You know, that shouldn't be what you do as a person. You should be able to go ahead and make a sound decision to either cut off certain people or let certain people in, right? Based off the talk that they have. Another thing is, are these people that you are seeking advice from, when they live their life, are they living a life of positivity or negativity? Are they either focusing on the good or the bad? Now, I throw this out there because I say all the time, people, you don't necessarily quite have to focus on positivity 100% of the time, because realistically, once again, we speak realistically on the Redirect, Regroup, Refocus podcast. You are not going to be at the highest level of positivity all the time. You just won't. You'll have days when you will struggle. You'll have days when you fall off the path. You'll have days when you think in your mind and you be like, oh, wow, what the heck am I doing? Why am I doing everything that I'm doing? Life is life is pretty crappy right now. That's what you're gonna tell yourself. And to put it out there for my real people, I'm gonna be honest with you. You might say life is very shitty right now. That's what you'll tell yourself. So let's be real with it. But are the people that are around you, when taking the advice from these friends, what are they doing? Are they feeding negativity into their own lives? Come on, man. You don't want to be around people who are feeding negativity into their own lives. Remember what a friend is supposed to do. A friend is supposed to have your back. A friend wants to look out for you. A friend has your best interest at heart, right? But while they have their best interest at heart, you want to make sure, you want to be very, very sure, people. And I can't stress it enough, that they have positive influences around them. At least one positive influence that you know that they can take and pull from, and they do the best they can to go ahead and implement those things in their life that they get from that positive influence. Now, I just got done saying, people, that it's not going to be 100% of the time, because we're human. We go through these things. I just got done saying that. So for my people who want to go ahead and say, well, you're not going to be like that all the time, I get it. You're not going to always take advice from people all the time. And you're not always going to be around people to take advice from. So that means you must build up your own wherewithal, your own morality within self, right? Your own morality within self, to then in turn make right decisions, so that you can have some type of peace, can have some type of resolve. Dang it, Ron Reed. I keep saying the word resolve now because you said it one time, but it makes so much sense though. But you have to come to that point to where you can have your own peace, your own resolve, your own happiness when it comes to these things, because it's up to you to do it. It's not up to anybody else. But when you take advice from other people, you need to make sure that they're breeding more positivity in their life than negativity. How can an empty cup fill you? Now, you can always fill an empty cup, right? You can always fill an empty cup. Always. Come on, man. Like right now, I got some juice sitting over there, right? I can go ahead and take my juice, put it in a cup that we have over here in the studio, and I can fill it. But empty cannot fill empty. Broken cannot fix broken, right? Come on now. Y'all just think about it for a little bit. Always be mindful of the friendships that you have around you. Be mindful of the people, And the last thing, when you're trying to select good people, you need to make sure that, remember, we talked about the positive and negative things that they allow in. We also went ahead and we talked about how are they living their life on the outside, right? That's morality. But simply, the last part falls on you. What do you think about them? Now, and I use this as an example because I run into people sometimes, in their instance can be, okay, well, I don't want to hear what they got to say because I'm going to take my own advice. I can make the best decisions for myself. Look here. I'm going to give you a portion of scripture here because we focus on the principle. I believe in God. Like I tell y'all, we've all sinned and fallen short of the glory. So what does that mean? That means we have all made a bad decision and fell short. But then in turn, it is up to you to pick yourself up out of the mud, people. Wait. So you have to make the decision to say, is this person a good fit for me? They could be telling me the stone cold truth about self. Come on now. A good friendship and correction is something that you have to be willing to seek out. Say that again. A good friendship in correction is something that you should want to seek out. Let me tell y'all something, man. I have never gotten better by somebody always agreeing with me. I want y'all to really think about that. And I'll ask you, have you ever became a better person because someone always agreed with you? Agreement implies that you are always right about something. That's what agreement implies. Agreement implies that you are right about something all the time. And the thing is, you have to admit to yourself that, hey, I don't have all the answers, big dog. I don't have all the answers. I don't have all of the plays in my life to make it perfect. Now, I'm not saying when you invite certain people in for advice or have friends around you that mean you well, that they'll always have the right advice for you. But the moral of the story is, people, that you always want to have people around you that have your best interest at heart. Now, I'll give you that. Continue to always keep people around you that have your best interest at heart. Because I'm telling you, I wouldn't be in the place that I am today if I never surrounded myself by people who would have my best interest at heart. And with Resurrection Sunday just taking place, it kind of made me think about some things. We all know the story of Judas. For those of you all who don't know the story of Judas, it's all about principle. Judas was the one who sold out Jesus for 30 pieces of silver, meaning when Christ was in the Garden of Gethsemane, and what he was doing was he was praying. He told the disciples, go out and watch out for me. They all fell asleep. They came, and what they do, they came and they arrested Jesus, and then Judas got to pay out. Judas got to pay out. He sold out his friend. Simply sold out his friend. And I thought about that story and how that pertains to my life and friendship, because you have to be careful about how you treat people, because sometimes those things will come back on you. And what I mean by they'll come back on you is you won't have any internal peace, internal resolve, because what's happening is that you have guilt. Have you ever been a friend that's done something and you've had guilt because you didn't either show up for something or you didn't be all that you could be for that person? I'm gonna raise my hand because I know I've been on that end. I have definitely been on that end of when I tried to give something to somebody, I didn't give my all. And I beat myself up because since I didn't give my all, what happened was, man, I just felt bad. I really felt bad. But when we relate this to the story of Judas and Christ, let me tell you what happened. Judas felt so bad with guilt that he hung himself. He hung himself. Wild, wild. That guilt can take somebody to a point of not even wanting to exist because you knew what you did wrong and you could not live with your wrong. Now, I'm not saying, people, that you're going to end up killing yourself just because of the fact, or a friend that you have around you because they did you wrong, they're going to end up killing themselves. But what I'm trying to tell you is that it's a mental process. Guilt is a mental process. Guilt is a mental thing. Come on, y'all. We talking about taking advice from your friends. And we might just second this and just say it's about, are your friends treating you right? And are you a good friend? So many different ways that we can go with this. But I wanted to tell this particular story because you don't want to be the person that sells somebody else short and then feel guilty about it later. And since you don't have any resolve and peace, what happened? My man took he took the way out for him because he didn't have any peace. So Judas killed himself. You don't have to die internally because of the wrongful decisions that you make for people. Choose peace, not violence, people. Choose peace. Because if you go ahead and if you choose peace, I'm telling you, you might go ahead and get shut down a couple times. You might even feel bad. But at least if you keep seeking some type of peace, come on. If you keep seeking some type of peace, what will ultimately happen is you might not think that things are turning around. But I'm here to tell you today, if you go ahead and if you take some type of peace and accountability in your life, I'm telling you, I had to get used to that feeling of saying to myself, like, life will get better. I had to train myself to believe that my life would get better, because the only way that you believe your life is going to get better, also with friends, with choosing your friends, you have to believe that the right people will come to you. If you don't believe that the right people will come to you, oh man, come on now. This is why mindset is everything. There are a lot of people that I know are looking for great opportunities to come their way. But you have to believe that the right people will come your way first. You have to believe that in here in order for it to come out of self, in order for it to come out, and other people can end up seeing that. You have to believe it inside first. You have to believe it within. Because if you don't believe it within, you will continue to feel that nothing is coming your way. I felt that way. Oh, Lord. Come on now, people. I felt that way. I felt that way because you get to a point to when you're doing so much work, you just don't think that anybody's looking. But I'm trying to tell you, people, there's always somebody watching what you're doing. And let me put it in perspective like this. There's always somebody above you, above you. There's always somebody above you that's watching you too. You just have to be ready for it. You stay ready by staying prepared, right? If you want good people in your life, you have to believe that there are good people out there for you. Everybody, I can honestly say, everybody who is in my life at the moment, who I've chose to keep in my life, okay? Friendship-wise, who I've chosen to keep in my life friendship-wise, are those people that I know and believe that will be able to help me in some type of way. Now, I'm not reliant on them. I got to specify. I'm not reliant on them, but I know if I had to get a hold of them, if I had to talk to them, if I needed some type of good advice, if I needed good moral strength to help me come back and believe in myself, I could have that. I know I have that with the people that are around me. So the question I have for you is, do you know that about your people? Have you decided to take a look at those people who are around you that either can negatively or positively have a great impact on your life? Come on, man. People, men and women, we have to ask ourselves these questions. And I'll tell you why we have to ask ourselves these questions, because as you start to get older in life, you start to realize that that your mental fortitude, keeping up with your mental strength, it means something. Okay. Oof. It means something so great, because there comes a time when you're going to have to think for yourself. Oh, my ex-wife used to say this all the time: age of accountability. You reach an age of accountability to when you know right is right, wrong is wrong. And then you have to directly or indirectly receive consequences for your actions. And what I mean by direct is that it happens right then and there. It's fast. An indirect consequence for your actions is something that, man, you tend to forget that you did it, and you like, oh wow, why am I in this situation? Because you actually did it. It's indirect because you can't remember that it happened to you, or you can't even remember that you even sat up there and you put yourself up for a situation. All you see is what's right in front of you, and you got to deal with it. There are a lot of choices that we make in life that are direct and indirect choices. A lot of them. Who knows? Maybe I might have my definition screwed up of that, but that's how I think about it. That's how I think about it. Because either way you look at it, we all take responsibility for the things that we do. And selecting the right people in our lives, that's nothing short of taking accountability for the people that we have in our lives based on who we choose to invite in and keep out. I'm guilty of keeping out the right people because I prejudged. The Bible says to judge people by the fruit that they bear. So are the people that you around, are they bearing good fruit? Bearing good fruit means production. What are they producing? I always talk about positivity and negativity all the time. So are they producing and breeding those things of positivity around you? Or are they breeding negativity? I'm gonna tell you, man, what keeps me greatly focused on the vision that I have is that I've surrounded myself by people who are breeding positivity. Now, they all have normal lives, things happen, but what are they doing? They're always looking at the bright side. We all have low moments. Oh man, I got so much help. I'm gonna be very honest. I got so much help from my cousin Marilyn and my cousin Ron and Mary and Smooch when I was at a low point in my life. That's me having people around me, right? People around me. So when you get to the lowest of lows, they know that they have something to give you. And you know that they have something to give you. Y'all are meeting together. Y'all are meeting right together in the middle. So that now one person can help you and you're actually helping them. I'll tell you how you help people out who give you advice. You help people out who give you advice by allowing them to do so. Because when they know that the advice that they put out helped you, it came out and it helped you, right? Wow, it's something to think about, ain't it? When they know that the advice helped you, it in turn strengthens them to want to follow the methods that they have once said to you. You want to know what helps me follow my own advice that I give out? Because people have come back to me and said that, Life Coach Jeff, man, you really helped me out with this. Life Coach Jeff, you remember on your show. Shout out to my boy, Robert Davis, because my boy Robert, all the time, when I talk to him on the phone, he'd be like, Jeff, it's like you said on the show. Some stuff I don't even remember me saying. Some stuff I don't remember saying. I'm going to let y'all know, I don't have a script for this stuff. Sometimes I do know what I'm going to go in and talk about beforehand, subject wise, but it's kind of funny I'm saying this too, because my wife asked me, she said, well, for the podcast, Jeff, do you have a particular subject? At the moment in time, I didn't. This is literally, I'm talking to her right before I'm recording this show. And she asked me if I thought of a subject. No, I hadn't yet. But you have to be able to pull from places. I think that might just be one of the gifts God gave me. I'm able to pull from my life. So I'm taking a conversation that I had with my wife about friends and different things of that nature, and I put it right here in the show. You know, I'm not going to give y'all no fluff, man. Like Robert always tells me, do you remember what you said in your show? It's just like you said on your show. He's helping me to keep giving out this advice because it's helping people. And I'm gonna give y'all a little sauce to the game real quick. If y'all want to know where I actually get my material from, where I get my notions from in my mind, it's all based on biblical principles. But what I have to do is I have to speak it to you all and kind of dumb it down a little bit. I don't have to use big words. And what I mean by dumb down is, see, I don't want people getting the wrong impression. Because people will tell you, you shouldn't have to dumb down your message for it to be heard. Nah. Let's nip that right in the bud, people. Let's nip that right in the bud, because y'all don't understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is God gives me a gift to articulate my specific thoughts at a level where it can be maintainable for everybody. It doesn't matter if you the millionaire to the poorest man in the world. It don't matter if you have every struggle going on in your life at the moment, or you're the happiest that you've ever been in your life. It doesn't matter if you're the low man, the average man, or the high man. It doesn't matter. I feel that when you have a message, God gives us all that gift to at least to try to have the ability to articulate it to a point to where we can allow everybody to receive that message. I believe that strongly in my heart. But allowing myself to do this has also shown me the type of people that I need around me. Okay? It's allowed me to see the type of people that I need around me, because the people that I have around me make me successful. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think my people really understand the what it means for me to have them around me so that I can continue to do what it is that I do. I don't think they really understand it, yo. And I'm grateful. Everybody who I've come in contact with, everybody who I've had words with, shared something with, even been very vulnerable about my story, with because I've always told my story. And maybe I have to do another episode on it again so I can tell y'all where I really come from, how we've gotten to this point of why Life Coach Jeff is the way he is, how I came to even life coaching itself, because there's a whole story within that too. Life situations will really make you start looking at self. Situations, it'll really make you start looking at self, really peeling back the layer, right? And when you peel back the layer, it just helps to do it at times, people. So I've surrounded myself by people, and you should too. I'm telling you, you should too. You should surround yourself by people that can give you good advice. And take the time to see how they look on the outside, how they're living. Don't judge. Just look at what you see. I'm gonna tell y'all, people, listen, excuse me. It is quite all right. Come a little closer. Come a little closer to the camera. I'm gonna tell you, it's all right to talk about the things that you see in people. Did I say that? Did I say that too quiet? Did I say that too quiet? Do I have to say it again? Let me say it one more time. It's okay to talk about what you see with people, what's right in front of you, because what's right in front of you is not a lie. Come on. Always remember, what's right in front of you is not a lie. So talk about what you see. And I love it because my friends can talk about what they see in me. And then I have to accept that. Surround yourself by people that can tell you about yourself, that actually see you. And then in turn, it's okay for you to talk about what you see when selecting friendships and people to be around. Come on, people. I'm trying to give y'all something here today to think about. I'm trying to give y'all some nuggets. I'm trying to give y'all something. Always look at the positive. Always look at the bright side. I'm sorry, y'all keep looking at my watch. I'm just making sure we get on time. But always find people to look on the bright side with. Always find people to look that will give you opposition. Good opposition. Not bad opposition. Look for people to give you good opposition. Good resolve, a good foundation. But once again, it's okay for you. It's okay for you to look at them and only pay attention to the things that you see. Because what you see is the truth. Now, even if you see something and you have to bring it to somebody's attention if it bothers you, it's okay to do that too. Talk to them. If you want to scout out a friend, be real with them. You be real with them so you can see if they can in turn be real back with you. Oh, come on now. There's realness. There is realness with people who can just be honest with you. There's realness with people who can just be honest with you. I'm telling you, I done sat up here, I done bent my back over a little bit. I put the arm up like this. I'm because I feel the same way. Like when I first started the show, this show off today. Like I feel that's a very good key point. I feel that is something that should be talked about heavy. Because a lot of us don't want to speak our own truth. We don't want to be honest about how we might be feeling about something. I'm learning in this season in my life that, Jeff, it's okay to be honest. You remember, everybody, friends do not have an ill intention to want to hurt your feelings. Your friends don't have an ill will or intention to hurt your feelings when they're being honest with you. Now, I've known some people that'll just say whatever comes to their head. Now, honestly, I've learned that it's not good to have a friend that'll just say whatever comes to their head, because that means they didn't think. That means they didn't think about how their words could either positively or negatively affect you. Wouldn't it be nice to have friends in your life that'd be like, man, Jeff, I really want to tell this person how I feel, but I just don't know how to say it. Okay, well, let's talk about it. What do you want to say? You break it down. You break it down with them. So that way you come to a better resolution rather than just you flying off the handle and just telling people how you feel. And what I mean by flying off the handle is you don't have to be angry to tell the truth. There's a few people I know that are just very blunt with the truth, and they don't know how to be any other way. So then it's interesting because then when they actually start thinking about how to say it, it is very hard for them to try to figure out different words or different phrases to say because they've never had to do that before. They've never had to do that before. So taking into account, you don't be that person. You do not be that person that doesn't think before something is said. Always remember, you would want the same respect, right? So be willing to give out the same respect that somebody can give you. Ooh, people. I know that hit home for some of y'all. I know this whole episode is hitting home for some of y'all. Because it's okay, man. Listen, I always haven't made the best choices and best based decisions either. It's okay. You have to find some type of peace in knowing that whatever decisions you make, whether good or bad, you can fix it. You can flip it. You can take any situation that comes into your life. You can start off looking at it negatively in the beginning, but always strive. Come on, people. I got to let y'all know this. Always strive. I can't stress this enough. Always strive to take whatever negativity was in your life and flip that into positivity. You have to. Your life literally depends on it. And what I mean by your life depends on it, that you don't want to continue to live a life where you don't even consider. Come on, everybody. Oh, my Jesus. You need to live a life where you can't even consider certain things that are being done and certain things that are being said to other people. Come on, man, because you have to be able to respect it, right? There has to be a certain level of respect that goes on with you taking into account these things. There's got to be a certain level, man. Because I'm telling I have met people, oh my Jesus, I have met people. I have literally met people who literally didn't have any type of respect for what was being said or what was being done. But you can't go ahead and you can't live life that way. You have to continue to make sure that everything is going good in your life. And the only way that you do that is by just taking into account what you say and how you say it. But you have to go ahead and be open to that. If you don't continue to be open to it, how do you expect that good to come your way? Once again, when you respect these things, you have to go ahead and you have to look at people and say, all right, what am I saying? How am I saying it? How do I want to package this thing up and present it to people so it doesn't come out in a way to where I'm the one being the negative Nancy or the negative Willie, whatever you like to call it. Certain people listening, they might have said pause at that because it sounds a certain way. But I'm just saying, I got to put some light humor in it. But I'm just being real with y'all. You know what I mean? You have to ask yourself that question. If you are not willing to give out that same type of respect, how can you expect to receive it from others? But the point still needs to be made, and y'all have to get this out of this episode. Make sure while you're choosing people around you, make sure you have the same types of visions. Make sure you have the same type of positivity. Make sure the energy is matching your energy. You don't ever want to go in situations where things are unbalanced or you feel that something just can't come to you easy. Now, that's not to say that certain situations in your life won't come easy, because we get it. Life happens. But we also have to take into account that when there comes a time when you have to make decisions. You want the right people around you. When, like I told you, I already told y'all the people when I was at low points who have come and helped me. And I wouldn't ask for nothing more than that, you know? So I expect the same out of y'all. You don't have to take my advice. You don't even have to do it. But at least take something into consideration. Because that's all it is. So where we at, everybody? I'm looking at time here. You know what? Let's go ahead and cut this one short. We could be done with it. So this is what I'm going to tell y'all to do. I'm going to always give y'all instructions because I give everybody instructions to something. Y'all hear it on Mondays when y'all see me on the radio. I give specific instruction to people. So I'm going to give y'all instruction again. Y'all go ahead. Y'all follow my personal page. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go on the YouTube channel and y'all can check these new episodes of the Regroup Refocus podcast because that's what it's here for. It is here so you can pull from it. It's here to help you because listen, I wouldn't want to do anything more than to help you all out with different things that go on in your life and such. Because once I love y'all and peace out.